Hello and hi, how are you guys doing? My name is Jousy and this is the HardLock podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. It is the very first episode of 2023. We took a break last year, moved on, had some time with the families, but we're here one more time, ladies and gentlemen. And because of that reason, being the very first episode, we have the myth, the legend, the guy who knows it all in this industry, J.M. Kennedy, joining us later on here. But before we do that, let's run the intro of the show and then we'll be right back. Welcome back from the intro of the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the HardLock podcast for those who have just joined right now, and this is episode number 12. Yes, and like I told you earlier on, we have J.M. Kennedy joining us later on here. But before we do that, let's quickly run through the good and the downright ugly of exactly how things have been going around. Now, we're starting on a very good note locally with what we call the FUFA drums. Of course, starting on a very nice note, actually on the 15th of January 2023, Western Nile Province were crowned champions of the third edition of the FUFA drum tournaments on aggregate of 3-2 despite a 2-1 defeat to Lango Province at Akibwa Stadium in Lida District. Now, Western Nile had actually won the first leg of the match 2-0 at Greenlet Stadium, courtesy of goals from Fred Amako and Toha Rashid. Now, the White Rhinos actually joined Buganda Province and Acholi Province that won the very first and second editions of this tournament in 2018 and 2019 respectively. We wish well to Western Nile Province and we hope that this will continue and we'll be having more trophies coming right here. Though the only funny thing about this whole thing is that I don't know why they had to make the trophy the way it is. It is so big. I think the trophy is like bigger than most 10-year-old kids. So huge. I don't know what the essence was, what the meaning behind was, but that for me was very necessary. But regardless, congratulations, boys, and I know you're doing a fantastic job. Now, relatedly, actually, the very same day we had something called the Kitenge Fashion Event, and this event hugely flopped because it was on the very same day of actually the FUFA drum games. And ladies and gentlemen, by 2 p.m. if you went to town, there was literally nobody in town. Everyone, like the streets were clean, all the shops were closed, the supermarkets were closed. Most of the people were actually in Lida participating at the FUFA drum. So falling on the very same day, it was a big flop for this guy. And I spoke to Orion actually, the event organizer, Orion Designs, Orion UG. I spoke to the guy and he told me that Jackie Chandiru and Dwayne Gavana were supposed to grace this event, but however they didn't perform now because of the budget issues now, because first of all, the event was not working out, and now to have more expense of these artists performing, so he decided to say, no, you guys are actually not performing. However, the event went on with a few revelers actually last week also as well on Sunday 15th January at Coco Palm, Arua. Now, because we were out during the festive season, we like to quickly also give an update of the event that actually happened through the festive season, how they went about. Some of them flopped, others did not flop. I'll give a quick synopsis of a few of them. Like, for example, on the 23rd of December, BOB Events organized what you call the Arua 1FM Fans Fest at Hotel Santa Maria, featuring Daddy Andre, the producer, and a few local artists like J.M. Kennedy, who I'm having here on the show today, and also Monopoly, Bad Character as well, also was performing that night, and a couple of other guys that, as well performed that particular day. But however, the event really flopped with very few attendance. Few people attended this event, but we wish him well that next time maybe all will be well. And on 30th of December 2022, Nigerian comedian Clint the Drunk was also here at Hotel Le Confidential, while South Sudan's John Frog was for the open mic festival at Hotel Santa Maria. Now, both events actually worked, but to be honest with you, I think the event that worked so much was that of the comedy, because the entrance was actually 30K ordinary, okay? At the gate was 50K ordinary at the entrance. So, and the house was full. But John Frog event, 10K was ordinary. Well, a lot of people went, but I can assure you the event at the Hotel Le Confidential definitely worked more than all of them. Now, the next same day, on the 31st of December 2022, we had one of the biggest events in the history of Arua that will go down. Still at Hotel Le Confidential, they pulled an amazing concert with Swangs Avenue's Winnie Nwaji gracing the event. It was huge. It was a full house 31st of December, fireworks, everything. Literally, it was a mammoth. You could see people were literally full at the event place. Now, finally, Let's speak about Spice Diana now. Spice Diana's event was actually just last Friday on the 13th of January at Lugogo Cricket Oval. And however much the event was a big success with huge stage, the stage was, I think, one of the best ever held here, right here in Uganda. But it got a lot of criticism from fans and also fellow artists. For example, socialite Judith Had went on social media and was slamming the sitting arrangement, because the way the VIP was sitting, she said that the VIP was sitting in a position where they wouldn't even be able to see the performances going on. However much, they were not even allowed to stand up to see the event clearly. And also, Nils Henry also went on social media and said that they didn't actually perform the song Body. Initially, the event was supposed to have actually gotten done by 1 a.m., but as early as 11:45 p.m., the security members already full at the event venue, and they were ordered to stop the event. And because some people are saying that because Bobby Kyagulanyi was at the event, because of course Bobby Wine did not come, but Bobby Kyagulanyi was at the event, and the security feared Bobby Wine would be at the event. But these are speculations. But what we're very sure of is that Spice Diana was only given 5 minutes to sing one more song and close the event, and she didn't even thank her fans officially to close the event. So of course these were some of the few events, but of course we had more other shows. We're talking about the King Widia concert that was hugely attended, and at the parking lot of Capital One Lounge. And also we had Sundiata, Mayor of Kirabu, having his maiden annual show. It was also so big with Salvador, man from Mbokolo, with Dr. Hilary, with so many other comedians who graced that particular event as well. Exactly, that is what happened for you in our segment, The Good, Downright Ugly, over this particular week. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is, you know the drill, you know what happens next. And by the way, before I even say anything, I don't know how I forgot to say this, we are proudly powered by Esomat Hypermarket or Supermarket. These are the guys, our official first partner of this show. They are our official sponsors now. Big ups to you, they know, for doing an amazing work. Esomat Supermarket, for all your grocery shopping, whatever you need, you'll definitely get everything you need at Esomat Supermarket. Esomat Supermarket is in Arua Town, former Winner Classic Supermarket actually. Now it is called Esomat Supermarket, and it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill, you know what it is. We have the man in the building. I don't want to bore you one more time. We have the legend, the myth, J.M. Kennedy, joining us live next. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a HardLock podcast. My name is Jousy, and like I told you, this is the very first episode of 2023, and I have the man himself, legend here, right here, J.M. Kennedy. And I'll tell you why he hates the people, the legend, later on, but on the show. Now, you definitely don't need the introduction on this show. Everywhere you go, you are J.M. Kennedy. We know you define this industry, but for my audience that is probably watching for the very first time, the younger audience, who do you describe J.M. Kennedy?
J.M. Kennedy is one of the pioneer artists from the West Nile or Northern Uganda region. I started my musical career in 2003. So this year actually making 20 years in the industry. I call myself one of the pioneers because then there were not so many people who were in the music industry. Actually, our people didn't believe that the popular music can be done here.
For someone who is a lay person out there who does not know what a spiritualist is, you call yourself a spiritualist, and people have always claimed, you see J.M. Kennedy goes underwater to sustain his music industry, and now you call yourself publicly a spiritualist. You clear the mind of someone who is listening to us for the first time.
I call myself a Christian Illuminati.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, an Illuminati is a person who has a special knowledge about how things work.
Okay.
Yeah, so in my world, we call ourselves the esoteric Christians. There's an understanding of the Bible that is not been, that's not in the schools, it's in the secret societies.
Okay.
And with the advent of the internet, some of us had access to this information. So I call myself Christian Illuminati. I'm a Christian Illuminati.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting concept that I've never heard about. But I'm open to learning, and also I'm sure my viewers are open to learning. They'll go and Google more of this. Now, it's been, like you said, 20 years down the road.
Yeah.
Your very first song was on the Makai Kai. It has been 20 years. How are you able to sustain yourself in this industry for all these years? You're still having shows, like you said, last year was a big year for you. Yeah. How do you sustain yourself back in the industry constantly?
I think it goes back to the original vision and dream that I had.
Yeah.
I gave myself a very big dream, I watched Lucky Dube perform in Nakifubo then, late Lucky Dube, and he filled Nakifubo like full, like. So I was like, I want to be an artist and I want to fill stadiums like that.
Okay.
So far I haven't. So it's a journey for me. Why I'm keeping going on, I know I'm in the journey. I'm not comfortable. I have not felt like I have arrived. Wow. So that keeps me going.
All the achievements you've had.
I think even the last 20 years was like rehearsals for me. I'm just beginning the real deal, you know.
So now is the time you start to market.
Yeah.
But then I keep asking myself, for example, we've had this conversation before, me and you, and I've always asked you and said, every song you release now is a hit.
Yeah.
No doubt, or most of them anyway.
Most of them, yeah.
At this point, what is next for you? What motivates you to singing? What really drives you to singing anymore? If every song you release works and you have shows, what next?
Well, I think what is next is to expand my reach as a musician, because I have proven myself within my first niche, which has been the West Nile community. That was my first niche. Yes. But I think I feel like I need to go beyond that niche. Yes. I'm creating for myself a new niche. So going global is my new dream now. Wow. Yeah, so...
Not only Uganda now.
Not only Uganda now, no. I want to go global. So... Yeah, that's what motivates me. Yeah.
Okay. And just related to that question, actually, you definitely have done a very good job amongst the West Nilers, the known people here. You've done a very good job. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm sure you know about that anyway. You're smiling because you know about it. And when we speak about artists that are in this particular region, when you go to another region, speaking about artists from West Nile, Jane Kennedy is not so much in surface. 20 years down the road, we are talking about the likes of Boss Nicotine for the northern region, maybe Raidzi for western Uganda, and a few other names. You're a very popular brand, but you failed to hit the snag of regional character where we know this is Jane Kennedy for West Nile.
That's your opinion.
I think
that is your opinion.
And according to a few people as well, which you've not made that market. So I just needed to understand if you're aware about this, if you're not.
I can debunk that because I've had shows. I do shows internationally. I go to Congo. I go to South Sudan. I once did a show in Europe.
But you see the difference is this though.
I do shows in the Bunyoro region.
The difference is you're performing for the Lubara community in those places. But predominantly going to Western Uganda and you're performing for the Banyankole like that, regardless of whether they know you or not, is what I'm trying to talk about.
Well, you see, that comes down to the structure of our industry, the nature of our industry. Yeah. You see, we have very many tribes. Unfortunately, in Uganda, there's so many tribes. Yes. Unlike in Tanzania or Kenya, where people speak the same language, our industry here is divided by the languages that we speak. Yeah. It only happens that the Luganda-speaking artists actually make it across. Yes. Because they have the advantage of the city. Yes. They have the biggest medias settled in their land, so they have that advantage over us here. You understand? Yeah. TVs and so on. So I think the reason why we have not, in the past, not really crossed that is because of that. But with the advent of the internet and so on and so forth, I think if we strategize, we can be able to be loved anywhere else, because music is a language of its own. You don't have to understand the words that someone is singing.
The jam is enough.
The vibe exactly. So you just need the media to propagate yourself, which has been lacking, especially in the northern region and West Nile in particular.
That is good. Yeah. And probably we hope that with this kind of platforms also we can reach out there.
Exactly. because this is international.
Right? Yeah. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proudly sponsored by Esoma Supermarket or Hypermarket, whatever you want, way you want to say it. And we're here at Also Art Studios having Jane Kennedy at the 12th episode of the HardLock podcast. Later is the 2023 edition, the very first one of its kind. And we're so happy to have Jane Kennedy with us here. Now, let's talk about you. You had an interesting period in your life around 2016, 2017. We're going to get a little personal now. Yeah. Now, you did something, I decided to call it the Reggae Freedom Music Project, where you decided to rebrand from Jane Kennedy. You started calling yourself OJ Freedom, and you were doing a lot of reggae music by that time. Yeah. And I think the project died its natural death. Why were you not able to sustain this project of Jousy?
I actually did a reggae album.
Yes.
And I really wanted to rebrand.
Yes.
And I wanted to do protest music. I think I was in a period in my life where I had a lot of crisis, and I was apportioning blame to the powers that be.
Yes.
So and you see, reggae music is a kind of music that you can use for protest.
Okay.
Because the message stands out.
Yeah.
So I did a whole album of protest music, but then I was advised by really close friends that this could be dangerous for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So because I didn't have the right support system. So somehow I cooled it down.
Yeah. One of the most popular songs on one of those albums, I don't know if you did it later on, yes, that you have distanced yourself so much from it. I don't even know whether I have the powers to say the name.
It's called Ale Yoko.
Ale Yellow.
Ale Yoko.
Ale Yellow, ladies and gentlemen, means we don't want yellow. It happened towards the period of the assassination of
late
Biniga.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the songs. I don't want us to discuss it really. I know because of
I don't mind discussing it.
Now, talking about politics now, let's speak about your political journey.
Yep.
This guy actually has been in politics. He has made so many attempts, at least twice. Two that I know of. One 2016,
excluding the ones in school.
those ones were for survival, for getting good prefect food.
Yeah.
But in 2016, Jem Kennedy actually contested in a Terego East constituency as an MP.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, as you know, he didn't do very well. He failed terribly that time. He'll explain, this is my version of the story. He has his own version of the story. And that time, by the way, he was under the NRM ticket. Now, in 2018, you also, just immediately after the death of Honorable Ibrahim Abirga, there was a by-election, and Jem Kennedy also stood. In that, you came the third last with actually 26 votes. You had 26 votes. In fact, the entertainer, your fellow entertainer, Uncle Nyax beat you. He was the fourth last, and you were the third last. And that particular time, you were standing on now DP, from NRM to DP.
Yeah.
What do you attribute your losses in politics to? What do you think could be the problem, and what can you do better in the future?
I mean, I'm not a pessimist. I'm an optimist. I look at the bright side of things. For me, it was a learning experience.
Yes.
I made friends. I learned how to manage society because running a campaign is not an easy thing.
Exactly.
So there were a lot of lessons that I learned. Yeah, so I count those blessings. Of course, eventually I wanted to go through and be in a position,
Definitely.
but the people made a choice.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm hoping that we can do better.
Yeah, of course, when I stood in 2018
Yes.
On DP,
Yes.
I mean, I also tried, but of course the competitors that I had were powerful people, as in
Money,
Cassiano had the name recognition, he had the money, he had the influence, that because he has been in politics for a longer time. So I was competing against such kind of people. So it is not abnormal that I did not go through.
Okay.
Yeah. And we did a debate, by the way. People tell me that I was the best. So
I know.
I have
everyone holds the different opinions. Probably I hold my own. I won't discuss it here. Because of this switching from NRM in 2016 to DP in 2018, just 2 years later, and some people call you a political prostitute of sorts. How do you answer to those kind of people?
Museveni was DP and it was UPC.
We're discussing Jem Kennedy.
No, but
I understand.
Okay, so why I'm asking
we can go to a whole list of people, including Cassiano Wadri, who also flip changes.
The only reality is change.
It's changing.
In politics, change is normal. Well, I could explain that. Let me really explain that. I was in NRM because I believed in the ideology of NRM. And I was a young man.
Yes.
And I hoped that after I did not go through, I hoped that the party would mentor me.
Okay.
Which did not happen because I wanted to learn.
Yes.
And in the by-election in Arua municipality then, I looked at a party that can mentor me, and I looked at Norbert Mao. In politics, he's the man I respect most. He's a guy with humility, he has knowledge, and he likes mentoring young people. So I really went into DP because I wanted his mentorship.
Yes. People also have accusations saying, you see, Jem Kennedy, what he does now, he has a bushfire that exists, and he tries to empower young people to come in his game. But unfortunately, when that happens, Jem Kennedy gets his young boys and girls
gets the musical idea, steals them, patches them, putting them into other useful music content that actually sells for him now. Is this true?
The reverse is true. I actually make music for my artists. Yeah, the songs I wrote for LP Shade.
Yes.
I gave a lot of advice. I signed Dewine, recorded his first 3 songs.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I work with some artists in Congo. I have an artist. Unfortunately, we fell out from Made. So it is not true. It's not true that
their music. The
I'm the most. I believe I'm the most talented artist this region has ever had. So,
but is it true to whom to actually was just because there was claim that to whom to was for James Kennedy, to whom to was for LP Shadi.
Whose voice was in the song?
Like what I've explained to you right now. You get the little boys take the ideas and sing them. Yes, it's your voice, but you stole the idea.
There's no evidence to that, though.
Well, the accusation. That's why you're here to debunk them, anyway.
People have opinions and they're entitled to that. But of course, Tumutu is my song.
Okay.
It is only me who can sing like that.
So many good projects you're singing, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is doing an amazing job, and we're just getting to the end of this podcast now. My very final question to you, James Kennedy, on this HardLock podcast episode number 12, proudly sponsored by Esomat Hypermarket or Supermarket. Now, we're saying that clearly it's been 20 years down the road now. Yeah. You've done an amazing work now. I know you live in a different world altogether, but in the setting of the society, 20 years later in a particular career path, you should be sitting down. But now we've had this discussion before with you as well. You're not doing that. First of all, like I told viewers earlier, James Kennedy does not even want to be called a legend because he says he is still active in the game. Now, with this mentality, I fear you're not going to pass on the knowledge to the younger people who are supposed to get this idea the best from you. And how are you addressing this problem? Are you having plans to retire? 20 years, you must go home. Go and rest with your children and your wife, then you chill.
For me, my music career is not a job. It's a calling.
Yes.
You don't retire from callings. You don't. Until death do us part.
Yeah.
Mentoring young people, that's actually my interest now.
Yes.
And I have practically mentored some who are doing very well. Dewine Gabana is my guy, LP Shad is my guy.
But those are only 2 names, but you're legend of 20 years.
But they're the biggest names in the industry right now. I don't have to bring everybody on my board because, you know why? Because management is not an easy thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I choose whom I should mentor. So I have done that and I'm going to do more. So retirement, music is a calling. I think I will, as I already said, until death do us part.
Yes.
Because for me, it is really not a work. It's not a job.
Yeah. What next for us? What next for your fans?
I really want to celebrate the 20 years.
Yeah.
I want to with my fans.
Nice.
So
concert or something?
Yeah, I'm going to do a concert. Of course, I will grace it with a concert.
Yeah.
But I would like people to share the experiences with me. I know people who took photos with me. I want this to come on social media. I want people to tell their stories. When you had Alion Demekaka, where were you? Like, what were your parents saying then? All those experiences, we're going to share them. I want to make a documentary about my life. So on the day of the concert, probably we shall be showing that.
Show it, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the things I'm lining up. I want to do James Kennedy Foundation. Because I think I have reached a time when people have supported me so much and I want to give back. Exactly. So I'm starting this, all of these things will culminate in the James Kennedy Foundation. So these are the things I want to do, God willing.
Thank you. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, this was it. My name is Joshua Koko, and like I told you, we had the man himself, the legend in the building, that is James Kennedy. He will give us one of his old music pieces and something that is very recent right now. James Kennedy, you have this camera right here. You have the other one. Choose any of them. Sell yourself to your fans. What is next for them? Talk to them, and then we sign out officially for your performance.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for supporting me for the last 20 years. I am still very proud that wherever I go, but for the love of the music, because it's a calling, I'm like an ocean of music, so it keeps coming. So I can't resist it, so I keep doing it. Otherwise, thank you very much for having supported me. And I would like us to have a podcast on my spiritual beliefs, because I'm a Christian Illuminati.
Okay. So
let's have a podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find some time. James Kennedy is here, and we'll speak about his beliefs. Now, many people have accused him of being in the Illuminati, like I told you, the music secret society that is so much affiliated to music, and that's why they say he's who he is. But like he said, he's open to discussing that with us, and definitely we'll give him that opportunity. Thank you so much, Jem Kennedy, for coming through.
It's a pleasure.
Time. You know you're a very busy guy. Thank you so much for coming through.
I appreciate it.
And for being our very first guest of 2023. I begged this guy to be, literally begged him to be here for like 3 months. He's been so busy.
You're exaggerating, you know.
But finally, we have him here. Now let's get a segment where we have Jem Kennedy performing 2 of his beautiful jams, one in the past and one right now.
Return of the legend, Jem Kennedy South Yasiba. Wise touch, kuma pesa. Alimira ukula, ekumakuya. Alitera meza maraka, etumatea. Sitani, ole manido, baby, etumatea. Etumate, baby. I'm sorry. Kabisa sana, masini bumbu, bumbu, kabisa sana. I'm lonely, baby, kabisa sana. Madini gaga, madini janta, kabisa sana. Sitani, ole manido, baby, etumatea.
Alitera, Bezini Sutu, Itumate, baby, Itumate, Beminira, Alengamira, Ikumako, baby, Ikumako, Alitera, Bezini Sutu, Itumate, 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 baby, Itumate, Itumate, baby, Ada, Etubezu, Elibera Mandati, Yonakunona, Amele, Etubezu, Elibera Mandati, Yonakunona, Waragi, Marugi, Bangi, Danzi, Marona Kunona, Amele, Waragi, Marugi, Bangi, Oswante, Marona Kunona, Sitani, Ole Manido, baby, Etumate, Etumate, baby. Leminira, Alengamira, Ikumako, Ikumako, Alitera, Bezini Sutu, Itumate, baby, Itumate, Leminira, Alengamira, Ikumako, baby, Ikumako, Alitera, Bezini Sutu, Itumate, 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 baby, Itumate, Itumate, baby.
This is the baddest, the roughest, the toughest. James Kennedy, South Yasiva. Push wetting this. Hey, are we?
Why is that Kupesa?
Ladies and gentlemen, two beautiful jams from the legend himself, James Kennedy. That the first nice song was from back in the days, his very first jam, and the second song is one of his latest music. It's from us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Joshua Koko, and this has been the HardLock Podcast, episode number 12, and we are at also at studios. But ladies and gentlemen, this beautiful show was proudly brought to you by Esomart Supermarket. Thank you so much, Deno and the team. Till we meet next time, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye. I'll see ya.